Hey, what's up, guys? If you follow my channel since day one, which probably many of you haven't, the reason why I started this was I was starting to take human growth hormone. In Canada, it's legal, and I ordered it through a clinic. Very expensive for what is supposed to be the pharmaceutical grade. And if anybody who's in bodybuilding who's taken these things before, you have the pharmaceutical grade and you have the generic grade things. And but that being said, things that are pharmaceutical grade could be um, mislabeled. You know what I mean? It's just generic that you're getting. But anyway, to get right to the point, I was taking at the time, and around 3 to 4 IU's a day for around 3 months, and I noticed some great effect. The reason why I took it to begin with was because I have had a lot of injuries in my joints through specifically skateboarding, but as well as snowboarding. Snowboarding in my knee, my left knee, skateboarding primarily my right ankle, and as well my wrists and everything. Like I fucked myself up. Extreme sports. I'm almost 40 years old now. I've been doing I skateboarded since I was like 8 years old. Okay, so just to give you an idea, and I still do this day. But all that aside, I was taking HGH, and 3 months in, I did notice some positive effects, but at the same time, it wasn't like why normally bodybuilders or somebody who's on um, HRT cycle would take it, which why I am now taking it, which is uh, testosterone base with primabone to mitigate the estrogenic effects, but as well still have estrogen in the system, which estrogen helps convert HGH to IGF factor 1, insulin growth factor 1, which is responsible for a lot of functions within the human body, specifically when it comes to growth, which is great, right? And it's this is why that HGH has and is being used as an anti-aging kind of compound. So, what is human growth hormone? Just to put simply, it's a chain of amino acids called a peptide chain. 191 amino acids in the specific sequence. Okay, and you get it in vials. Oh no, I just bust them out. Here we go. So, okay, this is a somatotropin. Usually, um, so from my understanding, something that is tropin is something that's secreted by one gland or organ in the body that has an effect on another one to change hormonal compounds. And this is exactly what's happening here, because in the pituitary gland, that's where HGH is secreted, and it goes to other places like in the body, like the liver, and it gets, or in certain tissues, and gets converted to IGF factor 1, which then grows things. So this is the HGH. Black tops. Okay, so something I want to mention about this, which is if you're getting underground things, usually you get, they're like black or red or green or blue tops, okay? And that's very common. Now, because it comes in a fancy package, don't let that necessarily fool you. These are all probably from China in these cartridges, essentially, and then they either repackage them or rebrand them, okay, in North America or Europe. That's my understanding anyway. That being said, it doesn't mean that it's any less legit. And the reason for that is just the fact that it's very, now with the technology these days, from my understanding, it's very easy to synthesize these compounds, the different amino acid chains, which again, it's all it is. Now, that being said, when you get something from China, it's potentially been in a shipping container for a long time. It's being bounced around, and the molecule itself is very fragile. So heat differences and, like I said, bouncing around, like mechanical impacts and things, like could affect it. Like when you reconstitute it in bacteriostatic water, you just want to swish it around. You don't want to be like shaking it, like mixing it. If you did that, you might fuck it up, and it would be pointless. So, so that's all I really want to say about that. Now going into my own personal use of this back again, which is I'm taking now up to 400 to 450 milligrams per week of testosterone, and I'm matching that 1-to-1 ratio with primabone, which to be honest is a bit expensive. I found some new sources for testosterone, which I hope will mitigate the costs as far as things go in the long run, because I plan to run the cycle for probably another 2-3 months. But I do have a testing kit for my next source of testosterone. And well, I'm just here on hand. Like, say, here's the Primo Ball I'm getting, which is in Canada, Olympia Gold Primo Ball, and as well Olympia Gold testosterone, which I tested. The testosterone is good, and based on just my my own experience, I believe that this is good quality stuff. So adding the HGH on, again, the estrogen will help convert HGH to IGF factor 1, which in the bone tissue, in the muscle tissue, in the joints, in the fascia, everything, will help proliferation of cell growth, which then, when you grow that through 3 things: nutrition, activity, and PED use, well, between those 3, that proliferation will grow to what? Towards strength, size, function gains, aesthetic gains. Okay, so like I said, the HGH is secreted by the pituitary gland, which is an organ like right here. If you were to like go like right here within the brain, there it is. Okay, that's where it's secreted, and it goes through the system. And IGF factor 1, like I think I mentioned before, is primarily converted in the liver, but not just there. It's also converted in tissues throughout the body themselves. Okay, which is important, because it's these types of tissues that are close to, if not the ones we want to grow. And HGH therapy has been known to be used in children and in certain growth deficiencies, but to be honest, it's not much used these days as much as it is with HIV patients and wasting disorder patients, which a lot of time the drugs that are used in wasting disorder patients are used by anabolic as anabolic steroids in bodybuilding, because it grows tissue, right? And it's like from one extreme to another. So just as on the one extreme, like where they're at negative and they want to come back to 0, like some people might be at 0 and want to go to a positive one, correct? And that's where the bodybuilding is, to put simply. That being said, I want to say, like, just go over a few risks when it comes to this and administration. So risks are that injecting HGH, especially from underground sources, like anything, there's a risk versus reward, and there are great risks in getting anything that is black market. This is black labeled stuff. Like, it is literally black market stuff. Okay, so I always recommend everybody, just as a disclaimer, test their own sources, and you can do that through Broid testing kits you buy online, ones for even for HGH, and or sending them into an source which will test it for you to the percentage, to the decimal place percentage, 98.2% HGH. It'll tell you. Okay. And the way I'm going to administrate this myself is 6 IUs a day. So I'm going to do that. Do I have any on hand here? So I have these insulin syringes. Let me see if I can just pop one up right up, just so I can show you. It makes it a lot easier to show you. Okay, well, whatever. This is a pack of them, okay? And it is 100 units per syringe. So if I took 100 units of the hydrostatic water, okay, which then you have to reconstitute it into the HGH, pour it in, okay, mix it up slowly, not too hard, let it settle. Got that, okay, the 100 units in there. If I took 50 units of that in the morning and then 50 units of that at night, and the whole total came to 6 IUs, then that would mean that I would have the right measurement as far as that day goes. Now, all depends on how much water you put into the vial to mix it, and then some. If you want to inject more water, go for it. And the places where you inject it are places like the stomach, right here. So you take like a pinch like that, you go bing, inject. I've done those in previous videos, but the other way you could do it is straight up in the injection site of your testosterone / primobolan / whatever else you're injecting. But the thing is, like I'm doing is that every other day, but HGH you want to do at least 1 time a day, if not 2 times a day. So I'm doing a separate insulin syringe, which is the ones I just showed you. I'll fill a full vial of that up with water with the HGH reconstituted in that, and then inject that maybe 1 syringe twice a day, like fully, or have it, because it's 12 IUs per vial that I'm getting. So if I did that 100 units, then I would have 4 injections. That'd be 2 days, over 2 days, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, 1 in the morning, 1 at night type of thing. Okay, 100 IUs split between 4 would be like 250, and that's what I'm thinking about doing. So I'll leave it there, guys. Like, the major thing is, it is a financial, that I want to convey here. It's a financial commitment. You are investing in yourself. And it is, if you are taking the path, not to lecture from huge experience here, but this is just the way my approach is. If you're investing in yourself along this path, you have to do it right. And to do it right, HGH, I believe, is one of, if not the most important compounds to be injecting. Testosterone base, everyone talks about that, great. Then you add on the other secondary compounds, great. But then if you can't afford HGH, it's like, I don't know, like I think you still do it with results, but that's the one that is going to, I believe, symbiotically take things like the slope of the curve, and everything is going to be exponential after that. And if you continue down that, even on your off cycle, quote, you can still run HGH on your cruise. You'll still be making good results, even if you did HGH by itself. I wouldn't recommend that per se, like I do it with everything else, but I did it before. You'll still see gains on that over time, 100%. And therapeutically, not everybody's here to get huge and big, whatever. Some people do have wasting diseases. Some people are getting old, right? And something like HGH, like Sylvester Stallone or Tom Cruise probably use these compounds. It's just something that now in the last 20, 30 years since it's been widely used, we know a lot about, which is it is one of, if not the safest compounds to do. The only side effect you might get if you do excess results is carpal tunnel, and there's ways to mitigate that as well. So don't even worry about that. It'll be fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave in the comments below if you have any comments, concerns, or questions. Like always, love to talk to anybody, because to be honest, like I don't want to project myself as a all-knowing expert here. Like, I know everybody is in their own expertise, in their own experience, and that's why I'm here, is to share. And I'm sure some of you have had a lot of experience with HGH, and please share with me, teach me, and teach everybody here on this platform of YouTube how you have used it and how it should be used. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.